Hey, this is Gilgamesh. I want to talk about this that happened, and oh yeah, there's conspiracy theories about this, you know. But the truth is, your government did this. Why? I'll get into explain why this was intentionally allowed to happen. Um, Maui burning. People flee into ocean to escape wildfires. Historic La Hana town destroyed. Yeah. Here's the This is the fire update. At least 6 people. Oh, it's actually much worse. Yeah. Popular front street is on fire in La. Yeah. It's bad. Eyewitnesses describe an apocalyptic scene Tuesday in La Hana town, where residents were forced to jump into the harbor waters to avoid fast-moving flames from a massive brush fire that's destroyed much of the historic area and continues to burn. Residents say an overwhelmed fire force fighting flames all day amid powerful winds could do little to explain that. Do little as flames rip through the historic community, destroying dozens of homes, businesses, and what onlookers believe is the worst natural disaster in Hawaii's history since Hurricane Iki. Acting Governor Sylvia Luke confirmed that the Hawaii National Guard had been activated to help respond to the sprawling fire crisis, which also includes other raging fires. The flames have forced thousands to their homes, from their homes. I should say from their homes, and many aren't sure if they'll find what they'll find when they return. Officials confirmed to Hawaii News now that the Coast Guard deployed a helicopter and boat to Hawaii's first line defense likely failed during the Mauii fire. Here's the thing, these homes, the people there are actually the indigenous people of Hawaii, who go all the way back to the time when Hawaii was a country and had a queen, and our rich white people came in and ousted her and literally stole Hawaii from its people. Well, here's these homes. Yeah, they're historic, but in the same, not far from them, that were actually protected and didn't burn the ground, where all the rich people vacations, the Obamas, the Bill Gates, Oprah Winfrey, they had their homes. These people would not sell their homes. That's the whole thing. They would refuse to sell to BlackRock, because they wanted this. It actually makes more sense when I get further, Biden's response, the government's response, and all this. Amid the already devastating wildfires raging in Mauii, Hawaii, breakdown in the warning system appears to have exacerbated the catastrophe. They didn't get a warning a hurricane was coming. The fire department wasn't there. They were, like I said, protecting other Hawaiian Democrat. These people are Democrats are shit. Understand it. Said on Sunday interviewing that the sirens used to alert locals were of impending danger likely did not go off. I wonder why they didn't go off. Noted that people in her state rely so heavily on the alerts that everybody who's ever lived in Hawaii knows the warning signs. She emphasized that the system is so important that the state tests it monthly. Yeah, and yet silence. That should tell you exactly. As Central Bay, it goes off once a month at the beginning of the month at 12 p.m. at 12 noon. It blares, and it doesn't. And if it doesn't, it gets fixed because That is our first line of defense. She said, she's right. The sirens seem to have been silent from the beginning. Also, they didn't turn off the power when the hurricane winds were starting. They didn't turn off the power lines. Were silent from the beginning of the fire, which a Maui County press release said began on August the 8th. Neither Maui nor High EMA activated warning sirens on Maui went off during the wildfire incident. Hawaii Emergency Services Administration confirmed on Friday, according to NBC News. People in harm's way instead had to rely on cell phone, television, and radio warnings. These were not available in some places. Explained that the very fire that was the cause for the alert took out the infrastructure that was necessary to communicate the danger. Yeah, they also apparently are using a lot of AI to run the whole system. Yep. The warning signals that were on cell phones, we had no cell coverage or electricity in some of these areas, she said. She pointed out that even had the sirens been activated, they would have failed to enable residents to make the appropriate decisions without the availability of cell and television coverage. So the whole thing, she's saying, the whole system failed. And like I said, I'll explain why this actually was intentionally done. She pointed out that the reality is, with those warning signs, it tells all of us to turn on the television, to look out at our phones, or turn on the radio. You might think it's a tsunami, which is, or a hurricane. By the way, which is our first instinct, you would run towards land, which in this case would be towards fire. Actually, no, you could have gone towards the rich people's vacation homes. Called the resulting devastation absolutely heartbreaking. Well, here's the sad thing. You didn't, okay, but, here's how you know that these people let this happen. Biden. This is like George Bush when he flew over after Katrina. Yeah. Biden slammed for heartless comment. No comment response to Maui wildfire. Oh, yes. He'll send he'll get the Congress to approve $25 billion to go to Ukraine, and all he wants to send to these people is $700 checks. Yeah. And you wonder why Russia points out, why don't you take all that money you're wasting over and actually use it to fix your goddamn country? Of course they don't. They want to, he literally said, I have no comment. Yeah, and then what does he do after that? Yeah, takes a leisurely bike ride as Maui burns. Yeah, this is all true. Joe Biden, and the Gateway Pundit this is from them. Joe Biden took a leisurely bike ride in, I'm not going to pronounce that because I'm bad at pronouncing things. Amid multiple crises at home and abroad, Biden has spent more than one solid year of his presidency, 371 days on vacation, with no visitor logs. Nearly 100 people have died in the Maui wildfires. 1,000 people are still missing after the wildfire. Yeah, look at this. Biden could not be bothered. He ignored reporters as he rode his bike by the beach. Imagine the media firestorms if Trump was golfing while Maui burned. Oh yeah, they'd absolutely tear him apart. And when I say there's a reason, how convenient. Yeah, Hawaii governor reveals state plans to acquire land ravaged by wildfire. This was intentionally done. Do not misunderstand something. These people did not want to sell their homes to BlackRock. This shitbag white people. Look at this. Look at this shit. These people whose homes are gone were actually descendants of they are actually what you call indigenous people. These are descendants of the people who are related to the original queen of Hawaii, who was ousted by our government, by people like this, these fucking assholes who come along and say, we're going to steal your land. You want to talk, you can say, oh, the American Indians, oh, they, originate from Siberia, Russia, but that's, on Monday, Hawaii's governor, Democrat, of course, he's in bed with the World Economic Forum and BlackRock. They want to seize up your land. They want you to own nothing. Governor Josh Green, look at the fact that it's a white guy, announced that his administration is actually considering acquiring properties so they can give them to BlackRock that have been devastated by recent wildfires. See, this is the thing. The families don't know if they can rebuild because they don't have money. They've lost their family. They're having to use technology to be able to tell through DNA testing if in these ashes, if these people's family members. This is how ghoulish these people are. And I'd say this, Democrat voters, but you're too retarded to get this. Your party fucking hates you too. They'll let you die in a fire if you don't do what they want. A total of 99 deaths were recorded as a result of the wildfires, which I believe were intentionally set. One of two things. It was they had, because Antifa's done this before. They used Antifa to start these fires, or when the power lines went down, which they did. They didn't shut off the power, by the way. Caused this. And there was nobody there because they wanted these homes to burn, so they could take the land. Yeah, this is proof. As a result of the wildfires that occurred in Mauii, concerns have been raised among officials regarding the potential increase in the death toll, as just 25% of the burn area has been searched thus far. Local residents are grappling with not only the loss of homes and loved ones, but the unsettling attention of developers looking to capitalize on their tragedy. U.S. Today reported a particularly distressing account of Tammy. Oh God, I'm not going to pronounce your last name. You can read it. I would not be able to pronounce this last name. Whose home of 20 years was reduced to ashes. Less than a week after the catastrophic event, she received a Facebook message from someone in real estate. Along with other residents, had been warned via social media that developers might try to buy their land, so she ignored the message. John DeMora, a resident on the island for more than 40 years and an employee for Marriott in West Mauii, summoned up the local sentiment against large corporations or wealthy individuals. And why do you elect Democrats? Individuals buying up the land. The government should just say no. You're not allowed to develop, he said on Monday. Say no, just flat out no. And this guy works for a hotel company. Understand what he's saying. Governor Green vowed to protect. No, he won't. He'll steal it from these people, the land from foreign buyers. No, he won't. He's already made it. You see it. He already plans to do it. Looking to exploit the situation, the Post-Millennial reported. Governor Green expressed his determination to prevent this tragedy from becoming a mere memory or a chance for foreign investors. You mean American companies like BlackRock? They're not foreign. To capitalize on the misfortune. When he says foreigners, he means any company is an American scumbag like BlackRock. I'm already thinking of ways for the state to acquire the land. That right there tells you, when they say acquire, they mean take it, so they can give it to BlackRock, so that we can put it into workforce housing. No, he doesn't want to give it back to families. These were historic homes. They burned. These people are going to lose they've lost everything, and he's already being a parasite and a fucking cockroach wanting to take it from them. They can't afford it. They don't have the money to rebuild. So what he's going to do is basically essentially say, oh you know, let us just have it. It back, he won't. Or make it open spaces no, he's going to sell this to BlackRock. That's what's going to happen. These Democrats are all for BlackRock. We're like, no, for the people who were no, you won't. This, you can tell he's lying. He's going to sell it to BlackRock. We want this to be something we remember. No, you won't. No, you won't. You're going to sell it off to BlackRock. After you have no connection to these people. You only give a shit about the rich people that you protected. You don't give a shit about these people. No, you won't rebuild it. You're going to sell it off to BlackRock. Yeah, and then you're going to make everyone go, oh, you're going to force these people into fucking the shittiest government, the shittiest fucking, like, we're talking what you would see in fucking back in the day under Mauii, this fucking dystopian future concrete shit. Oh, they're screwed. I'm alright. Yeah, no, you don't. The buildings can be rebuilt over time. Even the banyan tree may survive, but we don't want. Oh, he's such a fucking cyst on society. In another press, Governor Green elaborated on the particular legal actions that are under. See right there. He doesn't want these people to have their lands back. So I've actually reached out to our Attorney General to explore options to do a. No, you're going to sell it off to BlackRock. I already know that. See right there. No, on any. No, you're not doing a moratorium. Fuck you. You've already sold it to BlackRock. However, moreover, I would condition people that it's going to be a very long time for if you understand how these scumbags, Democrats work, what they're really saying is, we've already made a decision. He's already made a decision. BlackRock's going to get this property. And he knows it. This has already been decided by the Democrats. They're going to sell this off to BlackRock. These people got fucked. This was all intentional by your government. And, just think about Biden would rather fucking go ride a bike than pay a visit or even talk about it. These Democrats know they did this intentional because these people do not like the big corporations. It's really odd that Hawaii's a Democrat and is run by Democrats, but yet these people, the indigenous people of Hawaii, hate the goddamn Democrats. But yet, and the sad thing is, it isn't the actual native people that put these people in power. It's all the people who are foreigners that live there that vote Democrat. These people lost everything and they're going to lose more. Because it's the outsiders like the Obamas, the Bill Gates, the Oprah Winfreys that fucking will always put a Democrat in charge. They'll never put somebody, an independent, more minded person, a person that isn't in bed with the big corporations who will fuck everyone over. Yeah. This is Gilgamesh. I will talk to you later. Bye.